Hey guys, welcome to Philadelphia. It's my first time here, and I'm in John F. Kennedy Park, also known as Love Park. And behind there is the City Hall, and on top of City Hall is the statue of William Penn. And of course, he's the founder of Philadelphia in 1682, and he named it Philadelphia after the Greek root word philos, which means love, and adelphos, which means brotherly. So his idea was that everyone love one another and that there be freedom and religious freedom as well. So come with me as I walk around the city of Philadelphia and check out some of the sights. The first place I started at was City Hall in Philadelphia. It's the largest freestanding masonry building in the world, and it was the world's tallest inhabitable building upon its completion in 1894. It was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1976, and it houses, to this day, the Philadelphia City Council and the offices of the Mayor of Philadelphia. It also serves as a courthouse for the 1st District of Pennsylvania. It was built using brick, white marble, and limestone, and from 1871 to 1901, it cost a total of $24 million to build. At the top of the City Hall is a 37-foot, over 50,000-pound bronze statue of Philadelphia's founder, William Penn. Directly next to City Hall is the Masonic Temple in Philadelphia. And directly in front of the Masonic Temple in Philadelphia, there's a sculpture of Benjamin Franklin handing a Masonic apron to Washington, which symbolizes the connection between the two founding fathers and their shared commitment to American independence. Then I walked down along Benjamin Franklin Parkway, and I saw many sculptures and statues there. There was the Amor sculpture that people took pictures at, as well as the Cathedral Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul. Also along the way, there's the Benjamin Franklin Institute. Come to Philadelphia, you realize how important Benjamin Franklin is to U.S. history. He was the drafter of the Declaration of Independence, as well as one of its signers, and he represented the United States in France during the American Revolution. And as I continued down Benjamin Franklin Parkway, I saw a statue that honored William Shakespeare, who of course is known as the greatest writer in the English language. Here's another very famous statue. I remember my parents used to have a small version of this at the house, and it's of the thinker right here. And as I passed the thinker sculpture, there was a whole museum behind it that was dedicated to the French sculptor Auguste Rodin. And he was considered by many to be the founder of modern sculpture, very famous for sculptures such as the Thinker, the Gates of Hell, and the Kiss. And you can see his unique sculptures here and within the museum. Check out the line to take a picture with Rocky. Throughout the day, you'll see a constant flow of people coming to take a photo with the Rocky sculpture. It's directly next to the Museum of Modern Art, which also houses the Rocky Steps. So it's a must-do when in Philadelphia. Of course, no trip to Philadelphia is complete without running up the 72 stone steps that leads to the Philadelphia Museum of Art, where Rocky in 1976 ran up the steps to prepare for his fight against Apollo Creed. And that scene is widely considered one of the most iconic in the history of modern films. Then I headed to the building that's on back of the $100 bill, which is Independence Hall. And this is where the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States was debated and adopted by the founding fathers of the United States. There's a famous story about an elimination baseball game that was played years ago. And it was the bottom of the 9th, tie game with a runner at second. The batter hit a single to center field, and there was going to be a play at plate. So the runner was running as fast as he could, rounded third, and the catcher braced for impact as the throw came in towards home. And upon catching the ball, there was a huge collision that left the catcher unconscious. And when he woke up, the medical staff was looking over him, concerned, and they wanted to check his cognitive ability. So they asked him, who was the first president of the United States? And he thought about it for a while, and he looked back at them and said, ask me a question that I would know. Well, if you ever get knocked unconscious and they ask you who the first president of the United States is, it's this guy right here. George Washington. And his statue's right here in front of Independence Hall in Philadelphia. For those that care about history, I think Independence Hall was definitely worth checking out. It served as the capital of both the colonial era of the province of Pennsylvania, and following the American independence, the nation's first capital and the capital of Pennsylvania. It was completed in 1753, and you can visit it daily from 9 a.m. all the way to 5 p.m. But if you'd like a free tour from 9 to 10:30, you can get in free and ask any questions you'd like to learn more about the Independence Hall. Then, after visiting Independence Hall, I went to visit the State Bell House, which is known as Liberty Bell. It rang in the tower of the Independence Hall in the 1800s. It's the bell that would ring to call all lawmakers to their meetings and the townspeople together to hear the reading of news. While Philadelphia has been voted as the most walkable city in the United States, and I found myself walking up to 8 miles a day, they do have an excellent public transit in SEPTA, which will take you anywhere within the city for about $2.50. I'm right here in the stadium area of Philadelphia. Right in front of me is Citizens Bank Park, where the Philadelphia Phillies play, and just within a few hundred yards is the Lincoln Financial Field, where the Eagles play. Then there's this really cool sports bar right here, and right behind it is Wells Fargo Center, where the 76ers play. Then there's a statue, a really cool one right here, of someone that my dad used to say is one of the most underrated fighters of all time, and that's Joe Frazier. And of course, he was the first one to ever defeat Muhammad Ali, and they had one of the best trilogies in boxing history. Of course, the third being the Thrilla in Manila. And Joe Frazier ended up retiring out here after boxing and opening up a sports or a boxing gym right here in Philly. Unfortunately, during my time in Philadelphia, I was unable to go to any of the professional games here, whether it be the Phillies, the 76ers, or the Eagles. It would have been nice to be able to experience a game here where the fans are so passionate about all their teams, and there's such a rich history of sports here in Philadelphia. So if you ever get the opportunity to visit the city of Philadelphia, you'll find it to be a great sports city. It has awesome food like the soft pretzel, the Italian food, and the iconic cheesesteak. And it's a city that's rich in U.S. history. So if you ever get the opportunity, I definitely recommend visiting the city of brotherly love.